Welcome to your daily focus, December the 8th, 2022. I'm Tilly, and this is Tarot with Tilly. And thank you. Thank you truly for all the positive, loving, supportive energy you send my way each and every day. We start with the 8 energy today, and that is the energy of abundance. That is embracing your strength, embracing your courage, walking within, you know, your truth, and integrity. If you say you will, you will. People just know that. They don't need a written contract with you. A verbal agreement. You stand to your word. If you say you're going to do something, you do it. You don't falsify information. You don't start little dramas. And you don't play into them either. But it's really about grabbing our strength, our courage, and going after the abundance we seek in our lives. Now, if we do the numerology of the day, it is an 8, of course, but it comes to us by way of the number 17, which is making the impossible possible. So it doesn't get better than that of what we can do with this energy that so many people are just feeling like they're the ball in the pinball machine right now. So it's great for us because we can channel it. We know how to channel it. We know where to focus it. We know how to use that energy, utilize that energy to very powerful steps in our paths going forward. So the 17 is making the impossible possible. Something that you thought couldn't be, all of a sudden you get that aha moment, that epiphany, that miracle happens. Things just come together unexpectedly. And that's because you can make it possible. Maybe 99 people can't. You can. Because it's your dream, it's your goal, it's your want, it's your desire. Even if you thought it was impossible all these years. Sun is in Sagittarius, Moon is in Gemini, of course. And of course, we have, Rosalind. Rosalind, you asked what was that thing that we weren't going to see till 2059 again. And that is the full moon in Gemini with Mars in retrograde, and of course the moon, and Mars all in at 16 degrees. I don't know why that was so hard to get out, but it was. So we won't have this energy again. Okay, it's one thing that Mars is at 16 degrees. It's another thing that Mars is retrograde at 16 degrees, while the moon and the sun sat opposing each other at 16 degrees. So Mars was in complete harmony with the moon because they were conjunct, but opposing, right? Opposing the sun. It brings anger. It brings impatience. It brings in just an unstable energy for us. People are mean. People don't want to smile. People would rather bicker and fight to the death. There's a lot of assertiveness. There's a lot of emotion happening, and our emotions should be extremely full, to the point where we don't even know how to pull them back. And they're extreme. They're extreme because Mars, our warrior. Now, when I did the monthlies, I spent time going through the astrology so that you would know where the Mars placement is for you personally. So go back and watch the December videos if you want to know. I did the astrology part at the beginning of it so that you'd be able to reference back to it easily enough. But this is a very important, this has been a very important week for you, right? It doesn't ease up. So find out if Mars is retrograde in your relationships, or in your voice, or in your career, or in your spirituality, or your health, your well-being. And there's so many other things I can add in there, right? Your creativity. Yeah. So anyways, but go back to your sun sign for that, okay? And listen to where Mars is placed. Okay, so the sun is opposite Mars. We know that for today. Sun is in Sag, Moon is in Gemini. Forget where I was. So, and with the sun opposing Mars, I think that the big thing we have to remember is we just want to go in with guns blazing. We just want to say our piece. We just want to make a stand. We just want to straighten things out our way, the right way, the first time around. We don't even think about it. And of course, it's not going to be right because we never gave it any thought whatsoever. We just reacted instead of thought about it and thought about how we wanted to react or if we wanted to react at all. So, and anybody who opposes you, I tell you, you're just, so just don't go there, okay? Just understand that it is around us, and we just need to pull ourselves back from the situation, count to 10, walk away from it, and think. Have you ever gone home after a heated conversation with somebody and you said, "Oh, I should have said that. That would have been perfect. If I would have said that, oh my gosh, I would have zing zang," right? You do that. And the reason why is because now you thought about it. You could have said that had you thought about it ahead of time. But you went in both guns blazing and it doesn't pay. It just goes south. So we don't want that for ourselves. So step away, especially if someone, and you might find yourself being like that. So, recognize that about yourself and say, "Oh, I got to back that up," or "I got to apologize for those words before they actually stick in like glue." So, and Mars and Uranus are talking together. So that gets us a little adventurous, spontaneous, motivated. So the great thing about Mars and Uranus talking together in a very beneficial manner is because it's very easy to step into our own creativity, our self creativity, our inventiveness, our talents, our abilities, the things that we want to do. It's very easy to motivate ourselves to go in that direction. We want to. We want to take the initiative. We want to inspire ourselves, and we can do so quite easily in anything creativity or any kind of adventure, any kind of activity, really, as long as you're thinking about it the right way, how you're approaching it. I remember when I had, the job, and there was this one job it was extremely hard labor, and so everybody would be like, "Oh, I gotta go do that job today," and I'd go, "Oh, I get to play." They'll look at me a little strange, but I never minded the job because I was going to play. I didn't have to deal with anybody for a small period of time, and some days that was absolutely incredibly great. And Mars is extremely bright up in the sky right now. We won't see it this bright again until 2033. So if you're a stargazer, get out there and find Mars up in the sky. Won't be too far away from the moon, obviously. And take a look at Mars. And it's all the red planet glowing for us. My goodness, I can't talk today. Okay, look at this. Our shadow card is the Fool. Yeah, we're feeling adventurous. I couldn't have said it better. We're feeling adventurous. We don't really need much more than the shirt on our back. We've got all the knowledge up in here. We've got the love, the passion in here. We've got legs, we've got feet. Let's get moving. That's the kind of energy we want to step into these new beginnings and new starts. And I know it's a full moon, so that kind of seems a little weird, but sometimes we have to try things out to understand if we'll even like it. Right? There was the first time you had sushi. There was the first time you had a carrot. There was the first time you had everything, right? So sometimes we have to try things out to see, try them on, see if they fit, see if it feels good, see if it matches with our energy. So the Fool is looking for those new adventures and knowing that you don't need anything more to take that new adventure. Maybe that what this could mean for you too is you're looking at something long term, a goal that you've set for yourself, a challenge that you've put against yourself. And So this is a time too when you don't need anything more. You don't need it to be perfect. You don't need everything to be just a certain order in a certain way in order to start. You don't need more education. You don't need more advertising. You don't need anything more than your shirt on your back right now to really look at going forward. Now, it's full moon energy, so usually we are looking at completions and endings, so we don't really necessarily want to step into something brand new, especially at this point in the full moon energy. But in a few brief weeks, we will have new moon energy in which to set that trailblazing. So, how are you going to do it? Because what will happen is you'll start moving and you'll go, oh, a block, a wall, a hurdle, a problem. And so it will help ease the way of decluttering the path so that when that new moon energy hits, you go flying forward. So be okay with the interruptions right now. It's a perfect time to meet them head on. And I think we'll have the energy today, the want today, the we'll be inspired today, motivated today to get rid of as many walls and doors and hurdles there are. And we will be clearing that path today for ourselves going forward if we're focusing in the right direction, if we're focusing on our dreams, our goals, our desires, our wants. Okay, first card. First card is the Two of Pentacles. So this is a card that says, okay, you know what? And this came up. This card actually came up a lot in our November 2022 readings. Almost every sign had it. So if you watch your sun, your moon, and your rising, then you definitely probably got that card, this card. And then we didn't see it. Then it went away. But here it is now. So it's saying, okay, we have a coin in each hand. We have a ship coming in on each side. We have to make a decision. Now, this card tells us since there's a coin on each side, a beautiful ship on each side, and it's pretty well, one doesn't look better than the other. They're both identical, really. It says it doesn't matter what you do so long as you make a decision. Now, this is one of those times when no decision is not a decision because we need to be on one of those ships before they set sail again. We can't make a wrong decision here. But by ignoring it, hoping it will go away, hoping it will take care of itself, is definitely the wrong thing to go because you'll be stuck with the problem at the end and you'll have to face it eventually anyways. So make the decision yourself. There is no wrong decision. Even if one looks like, oh, that could be a real mess for me, not necessarily. Not according to what the energy of the card is telling me, at least for you. The card is telling me that you need to make a decision. You need to be on one of those ships when they set sail again. And when will that be? Probably in a couple of weeks when the new moon comes around for us. The Six of Swords. The Six of Swords says it's time to push offshore. I kid you not. This is the energy. I know it's the day after the full moon. I should be talking all about closing doors and completion and healing, but that is not the energy of today, and I don't want you to expect that as the energy of today. This is about going forward. This is about pushing off from shore. This is about knowing that it's time to move forward. Go towards uncharted lands. Take a risk. So what do we need to do? The 8 energy today. What is the 8 energy? It's all about our abundance and going towards our abundance and growing our abundance. And how do we do that? By embracing our strength, by embracing our courage, by standing in our truth and going after, focusing on our goals, right? Our third card is, oh my gosh, I kid you not, the Two of Swords. The Two of Swords is all about making decisions today. Now, with the Two of Swords, we're wearing red. So that could mean that it's very passionate what we are doing. There's a lot of passion involved. Maybe you are the deciding vote in something. And so your vote weighs heavily on the outcome and you just don't know which way to pick because you know some of your friends want it this way and other friends want it that way. And so you know you'll be letting down somebody in the process, or maybe they'll turn their backs on you because they know that that's how you voted. That's how you decided. It could be a decision where you've been asking a lot of people for advice, and you've been discussing it and telling parts of it to see their reaction and see what they have to say about it, feeling them out. Maybe you've gone directly to somebody and say, I have this, I've got to make a decision about it, I've got to make a choice about it, here's my choices, what would you pick? You're not going to find the answer, and you can Google it. You're not going to find the answer on the external when this card comes up. We are blindfolded. We must look within. So what does that call for today? That calls for meditation or prayer, or just sitting in contemplation and pondering it a little bit, thinking it through, and listening to your heart. Because sometimes we don't want to hear that. We know it's the right thing to do if we really look at it, but we really don't want to do that. And this is kind of the energy that's around. And it's a lot of emotions that are pulled up and pulled around and twisted. And so you're going to feel that. You're going to feel that making the decision. That means that you're making the right decisions, because you're just, this is how I feel. It's just, I don't want to make this decision, but I have to make it. I have to be truthful. I have to be honest. I have to keep my integrity intact. So I'm going to grab onto my strength. I'm going to grab onto my courage. I'm going to look within. I'm going to find that answer. And that is my decision going forward. Look within for the decision. Okay? The answers, the truth. You have it within you already. Okay, we'll get a mantra card here. Okay, we have face your fears. Release the power of fear. It's so incredibly powerful to look at your fears. When you look at your fears, they dissipate. They lose their total power over you. Okay, and think of an extreme fear. Think of you're afraid of flying. Okay, and that limits you from ever leaving your country for sure. Crossing the ocean. I guess you could take a boat. Be a long boat ride. You need a lot of time to get there and back. So it forces you to live a different life rather than you might choose if you had no fear of flying. But you do. And I'm not saying that a fear of flying, just look at it and be done with it. No, it's very real, and it probably will take a professional to walk you through it and help you through it and get you to where you want to be, which is no fear of flying, right? But it's all of our fears. I mean, do you jump when you hear thunder? I know my mom, she used to burn palm leaves and pray whenever there was a thunderstorm. She was so afraid of them. And I've seen many animals act in fear of the thunderstorms, or fireworks. Maybe you're afraid of fireworks. There's at least one dog that gets free and runs away from the crowd, right? Maybe you're just have a fear of not being accepted or not being wanted or not being needed or not being included, not being loved, not being respected. And so you do certain things a certain way so that those things stay in your life. Face your fears. Release the power of fear. Okay? Everybody experiences fear. To triumph over fear, you need to understand it. Only then can you release its power over you. Fear has a subtle way of showing you the dark side of yourself, immobilizing you, stealing your freedom and courage. Fear can also show you that something is worth fighting for, and it's an opportunity to build courage and a brave heart. The magic of nature and your angels will encourage you to overcome fear of things like change, loneliness, or the unknown. You can be brave to face those challenges. The mantra is, I have courage to overcome my fears. I have courage to overcome my fears. It does take courage, okay? Absolutely, it does. When Paul was stuck at work at 10 o'clock at night on that blizzard night where we had like 2 or 3 feet of snow dump on us in like a couple of hours. Oh my gosh. You know, I got over my fear of driving in the snow really fast. Had to get my son home. So, and realizing it, it could have been something that happened, in your teen years or something. You didn't even know that you were having that reaction today, and that's why you do what you do, when you do it, and why you do it. You just don't know. Our animal is the pronghorn, and action is the word. So the pronghorn comes to see us. Action. Now is the time to act. Opportunities are here. Your talents will always help you land on the pinnacle. Your quick wit and keen senses will lead you to success. Isn't that great? I mean, all this, it wasn't any of my cards that even resembled what a reading should look like after a full moon energy. But it's telling us to look for the new experiences, it's telling us to look forward. And so the only reason I can see that happening is because we are going to see the stumbling blocks. We're going to trip over them. There's no way we can avoid them. We have to make decisions. We have to make choices. We have to come to some conclusions in order to clear it off of our path so we can take the next step and the next step and the next step and beyond. And until we meet again, remember, I do love you.